What's up, guys? Chasing Lamey here with episode number 36 of our Williams Revival F1 Manager 22, and today we are going to Jeddah in Saudi Arabia, which is, I guess, where Jeddah is. There's not actually a lot coming up between now and then. If you missed the last episode, by the way, do go check that out. No spoilers, but it went well. And I say no spoilers. If you look on your screen, there are spoilers. But it went well, and that's what's the important thing for you to know. But we are actually at Saudi now. Pretty much got there rapidly. I actually don't know if we've got any more car parts that I've forgotten to build, because I just have a sneaky suspicion there might be. Let's have a little look before I do. Rear wing was the next one coming in, so I'm going to assume not. Oh, side pods. Side pods could be an issue. I'd like to have more of those. We'll put all those on car. I assume the second one I set up coming tomorrow, but I don't remember, and that's a little disconcerting. But have a little look, Scoodle. Side pod manufacturing, presumably there is one coming tomorrow, would be my guess. Edit project, will it tell me 20th of March, 28th of March? Oh, I have to emergency one of those. Or we'll just let Valtteri have it, because he got the win last time. We'll see how it goes. Anyway, let's set some targets, shall we? We had a little look last time out, but for our refresher of the memory, car analysis says we're going to be somewhere top 5 would be my guess. So we're going to tell them as our targets we're going to go for top 5, because why not? So we're going to go for qualifying position. I am going to say boldly both drivers top 6, just to be on the safe side. I'll have a little margin, why not? And we're going to reach Q3, because why not? Both drivers reaching Q3, good stuff. Race targets, finish position, I'm going to say again, both drivers in the top 6. Let one of them make a mistake if they need to. That's always solid. And guaranteeing slots for finishing position. Well, there are some tracks coming up I don't expect to get some points out. So we're going to say both cars top 10. One car top 10. Let's say one car, because that gives us some margin if something breaks down. Good stuff. I know what I'm doing. Right, inbox. Just have a quick look at the inbox. In terms of prep, good stuff. Ooh, gravy. Okay, let's go do it to it. So that's qualifying in the books then. It's been an interesting one for us all around. Max Verstappen takes pole. Charles Leclerc taking second place. Hamilton, the first of our drivers, in third, next to Sergio Perez. Carlos Sainz in fifth, and Valtteri Bottas in sixth. The real checkerboard, actually, of the quote-unquote lead drivers in the front 3, followed by their teammates in the second 3. Fernando Alonso takes 7th, Norris in 8th, Russell in 9th, Gasly in 10th, Ricciardo in 11th in the Mercedes, horrible result for him. 12th for Alex Albon in the McLaren, Yuki Tsunoda takes 13th in the Haas, Sebastian Vettel in 14th, Mick Schumacher in 15th, Ocon in 16th, horror show for him, 17th for Lance Stroll, 18th for Zhou Guanyu, 19th for Logan Sargent, and 20th for Kevin Magnussen in the Haas. He picked up a penalty because he had a crash in Q1. So he's not going to suffer too much because of the penalty, it's got to be said, but starting at the back will hurt him for the race.
It's race day, and final preparations are underway.
Williams had a good performance in qualifying. Now they'll be eager to demonstrate that they can have an even better race. It was a pleasure to watch Red Bull's excellent performance during qualifying. Their drivers will now be looking ahead to the race itself and hoping to capitalize. And the sun is shining bright here today. This is perfect weather for teams and drivers alike to show us what they're capable of.
Well, this is certainly going to be a challenging but no doubt exciting race here in Jeddah.
So we've got a good race ahead of us for today. That's always good. Let's turn down the background noise so it's a bit clattery. Right, let's have a look at our strategy for today then, because it could go either way. And there's part of me thinking we're going to go for the one stop, which should be okay, given maybe a touch of adjustment. Can I get a little bit more pace out of it by maybe extending a stint here or there? Probably can, and that should be it. We'll go with that. That's a nice little range, 21 laps. So we'll update strategy A. I just want to have a little check actually just on strategy B, because there's probably a that a touch faster. Not really, I guess. But let me just do a comparison of the lap times on that, because that could be good knowledge for Valtteri, having done that. Yeah, I think, because there's no time gap, we're going to put Valtteri on the do we do that? Actually, no, let's just keep them on the same strategy. There'll be enough of a gap between them when the pit stops come to make something happen. I'm just thinking if there's a safety car, I don't want to have him on hards and then not able to go to the end. And that feels like a reasonable shot. I've just cancelled that. Good stuff. Right, let's make that work. Good. Right. Lovely stuff. So that's that sorted. In terms of parts, we should be okay because I put brand new parts, brand new engine into the car for Q3. And fuel. Fuel's an interesting one because this is a safety car race, but it'd be nice to pick up a few places. So I think we're going to add 3 laps of fuel, just so we've got them there to use it. And we'll go full out on the ERS as well, just to really milk the car a little bit. We'll do exactly the same for Valtteri Bottas. No favouritism here. I know they're going to be a bit heavier on the start, but I think the extra power is going to make up for it in terms of overall race time. And again, we're going to go with the overtake there. So hopefully that's them both set up to overtake and push. Beautiful stuff. Okay, without any further ado, let's go back to Crofty and Kroon and start the race, shall we? Because that feels like a great plan.
We have clear weather tonight as we look at the drivers in their grid positions. And here we've got Lewis Hamilton. They've managed a 3rd place start for this race, but can they turn it into a win? And there's Bottas completing the team today. A top 10 position today, but will they be able to capitalise on it? Will their hard work pay off today? It's almost time for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. It's lights out and away we go.
And we're underway in Jeddah then for this second round of the 2024 season. Go on board with Lewis just to see if he can make up some place in the early going. He's lost a place to Perez. Bottas is in a bit of a fight with Sainz as well. I mean, Red Bulls are very, very good this year. I know the first race we got that win and we've probably got a little bit of a false sense of security. But the Red Bulls and the Ferraris, actually, for that matter, are both great cars. The Red Bull of Verstappen certainly has looked a little bit like a weapon in his hands. He's been, in practice, half a second ahead of the second place car, sometimes even in qualifying half a second ahead. So with a clean race and no unfortunate timings of safety cars and stuff, Verstappen should walk this title, at least until we can get enough new parts on the car to catch up. But I'm not overly worried about us just gathering points. I just want us to collect points slowly. We're speeding things up just so we can get through the opening stage. Go on with Bottas. Because if anyone's going to make a move at this stage, I feel like it's going to be Bottas. I don't know why. I just feel like he might be a little bit quicker than Sainz today. And we need Hamilton and Bottas to sort of work together to pull themselves up to the front 3. So this race is always a close one. It's always a kind of battle of wills to some extent. But yeah, I do feel like it will be a DRS train from sort of first to probably 14th or so by the time the DRS window opens. We're just hoping for DRS, because in the DRS we are quicker than most of the other cars on the grid. In fact, I think we're the quickest under DRS, which is very, very useful to us. So we just have to stay in range for now, and we'll be okay. Is sort of my thinking. Very aware that maybe Hamilton should be saving ERS because he's not really close enough to make a move anyone. Although we'll see now DRS is enabled. Maybe there's something to be said here. We're having a go at the inside of Perez to get that place back in turn 1. Didn't quite make it stick, but it's nice to see Lewis being aggressive. We are very much in the fight, which is good. And once we get to some DRS action, we should be actually okay to really get some overtaking done, which is what we're sort of looking to do. I don't think in a one-on-one fight with DRS, Perez can get past Hamilton once Hamilton has passed him, purely because we've got that much better pace under DRS. We'll soon find out though, because there is a DRS zone coming up pretty shortly, I think. So we'll get a little look at what we are capable of under DRS. Let's keep an eye out for the wing opening, which should be any time in the near future. I think it's just past this corner of the DRS zone, if memory serves. We'll soon find out, because we'll get a little green icon at the bottom saying it's time to go, go, go. There we go. DRS is open. Hamilton, can he use the extra pace to push up to Sergio Perez? Not quite that time, but there is going to be another chance in just a moment. And we are at least staying within range, at least, and hopefully going to start pushing up to catch up into the final corner. Maybe a late dive up the inside. I'm going to put Hamilton onto just kind of neutral ERS for a second, because I don't want to fully waste his battery, knowing we are probably going to be good enough to stay in touch at least under ERS. That's kind of how that's going to go. So under DRS, that's kind of how it's going to go. The front three are going to get very close and get battling in a second as well, which is going to help us out immensely, because it will help Hamilton stay on top. Bottas, meanwhile, is also staying within this fight. I mean, this fight is going to go the distance, I feel like. Bottas being much more conservative with how he is using his ERS. So that will bode well for him as the race goes on as well. So we'll just keep an eye out and see how that one goes. Hopefully it will all work out for the best. We'll soon see though, see what happens. Keep an eye on the onboard and just hope for the best is kind of our motto at this stage. We're just we're kind of in a no man's land situation. So let's go quick zoom for a bit just to see how things go. Battery empty for no overtake for Valtteri, so we'll drop him down to a neutral as well. He did finally start using it, just as I kind of gave up hope he would. And yeah, well, it looks like we're in a fight with Carlos Sainz with our two drivers right now, which is not the one. We should have the additional pace because we've added that extra fuel. We're just not using, I guess, the extra weight. Maybe it was a one lap was enough extra fuel to mitigate the weight. But I don't know, I've got faith. We'll see how it goes. Let's go again back to the quick zooming, because again, we're going to come on strong in the second phase of the Grand Prix. I feel like the first phase is just sort of a hold station where we are trying not to lose the train and try and get ourselves pulled clear, and hopefully it will be pretty good as things go in the exchanges of the pit stops, which is where I want us to make it. There's been a crash, and it was Bottas getting potentially rear-ended, I think, by Alonso. Is that what's happened? I think he's out of the race. I think that's got Bottas out of the race all over it. What has happened there? Let's have a little look. There's a safety car out, so we'll try and take advantage of that if we can. So, I guess Alonso's just absolutely binned it going into turn one and taken out Bottas. And it looks like Alonso has kept going, which is the most bittersweet part of it at all. Are we going to come in for some hard tyres? I think actually, just thinking, our pit window opens in 8 laps. Is there an argument? 32 laps on that tyre buys us. Let me just do a strategy on Lewis, because I feel like if he can get a win, we'll be fine. Let's just do a little strategy. Can I go from here to a set of mediums? And then either go to a set of softs or a set of hards. Yeah, I'd like to be able to think we could go to a set of softs. It's not quite there, is it? Okay, let's have a look at the plan B. What if we go to a set of hards now, and will that let us get onto a set of softs at the end, maybe? It would. Sure, we're going to risk it. We're going to risk it. We're going to risk it, and I hope there's another safety car anyway. Switch to strategy B. Take the free positions we can get from doing that, and I think that could be a cheeky winner here. So let's go to set of hard tyres. for this second stint. I know we're going to lose some places, but we're going to pick them back up because the DRS is so strong around here. It will take forever to be dropped from DRS once the pack gathers back up. We're going to save some fuel and some engines and whatnot. Harvest some ERS as well. See what we can do. I don't know if there's a master plan here. I think we'll probably drop in somewhere around 8th or 9th, which will be fine for us once the safety car comes out. Let's gather ourselves up. Let's watch the pit stops go through. I don't think anyone else will come. Alonso may have to come in for a front wing with us, but I don't think anyone else is going to come in with us. So this could be a good strategy. It could be a terrible one. We could end up having to go onto another set of mediums towards the end. But I'm just thinking there's probably an opportunity here, as long as we don't get caught up behind a car coming in. We haven't. Out in 10th is not ideal. 12th is less ideal. We shouldn't drop back further than that, you'd hope. Although we're very much hoping Guan Yu Shou doesn't appear in front of us in just a moment. That would be a disaster. He hasn't. Okay, we're in a good place. We're in a good place. Let's hold on to those hard tyres on a conserve as well. Kind of gather ourselves up with the safety car. See how that looks. Because I think this is going to be a winning plan. That's what I'm feeling. Let's get ready to pause the game and go full go, go, go as soon as the safety car ends, which can't be far away. Safety car done. Good. Okay, right. Back to standard. Back to push. We're going to go... I'm going to hold neutral on the ARS because a lot of the cars ahead of us we should be able to overtake without having to push the overtake button. You'd like to think we've got enough pace to get past the Alpha Tauri and the Haas, at the very least. So we'll see how that goes. Hold on to your hats, kids. This is going to be quite the drive from Lewis, I think, at this stage. Quite the drive. I mean, I could have probably gone easy on the Haas all the way to the end, but I didn't. So that's okay. It's going to be fine. Lewis knows what he's doing. I'm just going to put faith in a 7-time world champion to gather this one back up and try and take a win by staying within range of the cars ahead. I mean, he's already effectively 6 seconds down on Verstappen. As long as that gap doesn't build before we can get past the cars between us and the Ferraris, I think we'll be alright. I think we've played this well. We'll go double speed, because I want to see at least an overtake here at Jeddah. I know Jeddah is not the most overtakey track in the world, but I've got to feel that we can get past someone doing something with Hamilton. Otherwise I'd lose my mind a little bit, and I'm already talking to myself effectively in this room. So that's let's not encourage that. Okay, we're staying on the back of Stroll. That's good. That's promising. There's not a lot. I mean, Alonso is the only really fast car behind us, and he has dropped a long way back, as he should have. He should have been thrown out the race for taking Bottas out utterly carelessly. Obviously an attack on us as a team, and it won't stand. We do not want to get into a battle with Alpine because it's bad for business, but also I'd like to see them all fail. So that's okay. We'll be fine. We'll be fine as things go. So we're not making any headway. We're not falling out of the train just yet. I am keeping an eye on Tsunoda because I feel like Tsunoda's going to be a problem. He could drop back quite easily. We're going to go for some overtake mode. Just because I need to get ahead of Tsunoda, I feel like, otherwise he's a prime candidate to drop too far back once the DRS window opens, and that's not ideal. So we do need to do some pushing to get ourselves past some of the cars ahead of us as soon as possible, because if we don't get ahead of Tsunoda, we're going to be stuck in a massive problem very, very soon, and yeah, it gets us back into the top 10 as well, which is a good place for us to be. Obviously, points for the top 8. Russell occupying the last point position. I've just noticed Ricciardo's got ahead of George Russell somehow as well, despite his bad quali. So that's maybe the Honey Badger still lives. But does Lewis still have what it takes? That's the big question we're all asking. Does Lewis have what it takes to resurrect himself in this race, resurrect himself in this season, and give Valtteri a challenge to be our number one driver? I mean, he's got to take advantage of Valtteri not being on track, because otherwise Valtteri, I feel like, probably would have forced his way through in the long term. So, you know, all on Lewis right now. We're all eyes are looking at Lewis Hamilton, and they're looking very intently to see what he can do. We're not really, even with DRS, we're not really gathering ourselves up to get ahead of him. DRS open now. We've got to make a move come into the braking zone here, surely. Nope, didn't even have a look. Let's try it again down the straight, shall we? See if we can get it into T1. That'll be good. ERS is out as well, which is great stuff. We've got DRS still. We should be able to pass Lance Stroll at the inside, and we've just squeezed our way through. He's hanging on, though. Can we get better traction out of the corner to stay there and stay ahead? Or get ourselves out? He's lifted off. Come on, Lewis. What are you lifting off, bud? Why did you lift off there? That was not terribly clever of you. If I'm honest, you could have done a better job with that. And, yeah, Tsunoda has dropped back from Albon. So now we're in real trouble. Because with Tsunoda dropped back, we don't really have much to offer, which is kind of a problem at the moment. We'll see how it goes. Let's keep on going. Keep on running, and hopefully get something out of this, because I'm starting to grow concerned. Let's go to the fast times, because Hamilton's really making a hash of getting past Stroll. And he's finally done it. He's finally got past Lance Stroll and Tsunoda, which is nice. Gained 2 positions. Let's have a little look at that. Oh, beautiful. 3 wide coming out of turn 2. And Hamilton has somehow got the hammer down to get himself through past both cars. Good stuff. Nice stuff from Lewis. We'll take that quite happily. The team have reacted accordingly. She looks still quite miserable, to be quite honest with you. But now we need Lewis to catch up and get onto the back of Alex Albon. With some clean air, he should be faster than the cars ahead. Yes, DRS is going to sort of help them a little bit, but he should be faster than the cars ahead. We just need him to maintain, or to close the gap in the non-DRS zones, in the braking zones, in the corners, really gather himself up into this fight before that gap extends too much. And, you know, obviously the first half of the tracks, there's no real DRS zones, so not out of the realm of the possibility he can get caught up. We are, as I said, one of the better cars, so we should be able to get fairly close once things shake out. Certainly by the next lap, I'd expect us to be in the fight with Alex Albon a little bit more, and they're all going to trip over each other anyway, so that's not the biggest issue. And Gasly is the next kind of car to drop back off the leaders. He's dropped by 4 seconds nearly, which is not the one. Hamilton, though, back in touch. See what I say? Knew he'd get himself back in the fight, and he'll be right on Albon's gearbox in the very near future and looking to make some passes happen. Once he gets a nice DRS zone, can he get through these guys quicker than Stroll and Tsunoda? You have to hope he could, because otherwise, the laps are ticking away. Time is wasting. Laps are just slowly ticking away, and we're not making those inroads in DRS just yet. This would be a good braking zone to have a go at Alex Albon if you were going to think about it, Lewis. No, not going to do it. Okay, maybe turn 1. Have a go into turn 1 and see if you can get something happening there instead. Verstappen into the pits, Gasly, Ricciardo, Magnussen and Show into the pits as well. So we've gained some freebie places, and the other cars you'd expect to come over the next couple of laps, maybe. Interesting though, they're extending their stint on the medium tyre based on the safety car. Would have thought that would have been a thing they want to do. Hopefully, if Ferrari have managed the best strategy here, I'd be shocked. I think we'd all be shocked, actually, if Ferrari have somehow played a strategic blinder. But either way, we do need to be making these passes happen, just so we can gain some places. Leclerc is having in a battle with Perez up top. We are having a look at Alex. We're not going to get through him that way, but here we go. DRS again, Perez and Leclerc in. Sainz has stayed out. Norris moving into P2, the de facto P2. Looks like the McLarens are going longest of the cars in the first stint. Probably, are they on hard tyres? They are already on hard. In fact, all the cars ahead of us were already on hard tyres. from the start of the race. This is it. That's interesting. That's very interesting, because that means that we really do need to be taking advantage of them as fast as we can, to be honest, because otherwise we're going to get stuck in a kind of no man's situation with 19 laps to sit behind these guys at minimum, waiting for them to come in to the pits. It's going to give a mighty undercut to the Red Bulls and to Leclerc. As we had another little look around the outside of Albon. We have a look up DRS way now, up the inside. Oh, beautiful move. Beautiful stuff by Lewis. And he's made that stick, taken fourth. And now he's looking at the back of George Russell, his old teammate. And we'll be hoping to get something out of that. Let's have a look at that in real time from the off-board, shall we? Because it kind of came out of nowhere. I wasn't expecting him to actually make that move, but he did just go late braking, almost got beside Russell as well. Russell probably looked at his mirrors and had a little panic. But 1 place gained. We're good so far. Let's gain another 2 or 3, and we'll be fine from here. Because I think Lewis can stretch his legs a little bit once he gets past Lando Norris, and Sainz will have to worry. But he does need to get past Lando Norris in good time, and that's really where I start to ask the questions. Again, we're getting into a DRS situation, which is going to help us out as well. So can we get past Russell under this DRS zone maybe? That would be nice if we could. We're having a look. We're not going to make the move just yet. Are we going to make the move through this one? DRS open into the heavy braking zone. Look around the outside maybe? Not quite. Thought he'd try for the switchback. Then he didn't quite try for the switchback. No one's coming in this lap. But Lewis going for the double overtake to get past Norris and Russell. We will do the off-board for that one. Don't you panic. We'll do the off-board for that one. And Lewis now gets to start cutting into Sainz's lead, which is great stuff. Let's have a little look at that one on the off-board. Purely under braking. Takes himself 2 positions. I'm guessing Albon didn't follow us through. Might have almost tried to follow through on George Russell. Didn't quite get there. But it's fine. He's just doing 2 overtakes at a time now, Lewis. That's just what he does, apparently. It did go down well with the team. We don't need to see the replay of it. We just need to see Lewis start cutting into that gap on Carlos Sainz, which he should be more than capable of doing. Is he going to bring Lando and the rest of the tribe with him, though? That's the big question. Because he could well do. I don't think Norris is going to pass him, or even, I said he did stick his nose past for a second there. You'd like to think we've got the pace to at least drag everyone up to us, or to Sainz. We don't want to get stuck behind Lando, because he doesn't have the real terms pace to stay ahead of us and close the gap. And we're building up to that 1 second lead now, which is nice. Verstappen puts up a fastest lap just to really put the cat among the pigeons. Norris is actually sticking with us on the catching up to Sainz stakes, which is nice for him and nice for the race. Had a crash in Sector 1. Is that bringing out a safety car? Because if it does, then I want to be involved in the pit stops that are about to happen. Guan Yu Zhou having a crash in Turn 4. Was it a bad one? Possibly. It was Guan Yu Zhou. He's very good at crashing. I mean, he lost a front wing, but he should have been able to reverse out of that and keep going. I don't think we're going to get a safety car. We didn't. And Lewis still goes on his mission to start catching up with Sainz, which feels inevitable at this point. It's just a case of can he catch him before Sainz comes in for a pit stop. We should be in that pit window for the hard tyres now, so this is where it really does get interesting. There will be pit stops coming, and Sainz needs to, or Hamilton needs to get on the back of Sainz before that happens. I don't want to tell me about Hamilton making an overtake on Norris. Norris must have got very lucky to get ahead in the first place. We have dragged these cars up onto the back of Carlos Sainz now, which is really nice to see. It's nice to see we've got that kind of pace, but the field is close enough for this to still be a race on the other side of it. I'm just wondering how far behind us in real terms, actually, Perez and Verstappen are. So they're 16 seconds behind. They're going to be faster than us because they're on fresher, hard tyres. It will take a safety car to win this race, but we are also going to be on a set of softs right at the end of the race, which is going to help us out immensely. And we're just looking to close that gap up now, just to see how it goes. Norris has come in. That's beautiful. we are closer ever still to the back of Carlos Sainz. If we get within a second of him before he comes in, that'd be nice. But it looks like Sainz is coming in now to release the Kraken. Hamilton ready and released and good to go is what we want to see here to the end. And we're just going to hope that Albon's going to make a nuisance of himself, that Perez has to do some serious overtaking to get near us. I'm just looking at who behind us needs to make stops, and it's looking fairly good in terms of what might be here. It looks like Sainz is coming up behind the Red Bulls, but ahead of his teammate on better tyres, so he's our biggest threat right now. Albon looks like he's going to try and get onto a set of softs to the end, which is bold. He is going to hold some people up for us. That's quite magical. But we can afford to zoom on because nobody behind us is going to make any big inroads. Vettel is going to stay out as long as humanly possible. What did Albon come out on? I think he's taken a pit stop one lap too late to get himself onto mediums. He would have been fine otherwise. And yeah, now we just we let Alonso, who owes us a favour, frankly, after his shenanigans earlier on in the race, we're going to let him hold cars up. What's he doing on tyres? He's got slightly better tyres than us. But like I said, he did some shenanigans. He does owe us, this Fernando Alonso, for what he did earlier. So we're going to let that play out and see if he can hold some cars up. He's currently in a battle with Vettel, which is going to hold up Perez. Is Vettel on tyres that are good? He is on tyres that are good. Okay. So they're both going to hold up Perez. I'm just looking at the gap behind us, the gap to the leader. Perez is 18 seconds behind. I think that gap is going to keep growing rather than shrink. So, Perez has got a couple of places because Vettel came in. It's all about Alonso just helping us out at this point to grow that gap. And I'd like to think he's got what it takes to grow that gap because he's Fernando Alonso. He's in a quick car. And it's going to be a case of us versus him, really, in terms of who pits. If he pits before we do, we're in trouble because Perez will have pace. But for now, he's doing us a solid. And I don't know what the pit stop time is at this track. I think it's 22 seconds off the top of my head, which would be very helpful if we could get a 22-second gap to anyone right now. We come out in 10th right now. If we don't get a safety car, we're going to be really up the creek without a paddle. So we kind of need to press on a little bit, but I don't want to burn through the tyres. So we're just going to have to hope for the best. Perez has been unleashed. So Perez now can start breaking down the gap. We're just keeping an eye on Alonso for guidance, really, because that's going to be our biggest problem. Sainz is also through. This is the optimal lap for the stop. We're going to go fully attacking on these tyres to get us into the pit box. And let's go onto our set of softs to the end. What have they got lap-wise in them? 18 laps. Should be good. We should be okay to go 10 laps on these. And I'm going to hope for the best once we get to the pit stop. Let's go full speed ahead. See what we file out. A safety car right now would be great. Come on, Guan Yu Show. You can bin this anytime you like. And we'll all be happy. So, Hamilton in the box. Can Hamilton make something happen for us? That's what we're looking for here. Is Hamilton in a box making something happen for us? And a good pit stop right now would help us. But I don't think it's going to be a great pit stop. We've got new tyres. 2.9 is a slow stop. It's a case of where are we filtering out. We're going to lose some places and come out behind Alonso, behind Leclerc. We've had to slow down for Norris and Russell as well. Okay, come on, Lewis. It's going to take a big stop, a big stint right now, but I believe in you. So, let's go to standard. Let's not burn through our tyres fully. It's going to take a big stint from Lewis Hamilton, some overtaking, some big power moves. But I like to think we can make this happen. Let's wait until we get onto the back of Russell. We're still in the points regardless, and Ricciardo has been dropped. But Verstappen is more than a second behind Perez as well. So this is where the tyres will come into play. We need to get that push going, get ourselves ahead of some cars as fast as possible. Come on, Lewis, let's get George Russell fully past, under braking, and then we can make a move, or get a move on, to get some pace in our final few laps. It should be okay. We should be able to make this work, but we need to make these moves happen very quickly to have any chance of a podium, and that's the real issue. Alonso, I think, is actually trying to stretch to the end, which is frustrating because he is just in the way right now. Somehow we're going to ruin both of our drivers' races, but Fernando Alonso is in the way of every car behind him and not helping anyone with his attempt to be heroic. But we'll be okay at this point. We're going for a move on the outside of George Russell. No, had a look, but we didn't go for it. Are we going to have another look now? Get brave. Alonso comes in to let everyone else actually race. And this is where we start to really make our money, because we're staying on the back of George Russell, staying on the back of Charles Leclerc, and Lando Norris is now kind of in our way a little bit as well. So it's all to... I feel bad saying Lando Norris is in our way, but he is in our way. He's closing down on Verstappen because he doesn't have DRS, but he's still very much in our way. And we need for something to be happening as soon as possible under a DRS zone. This one will be ideal if we can. He's blocking us off around the outside. Saw the look coming for that move around the outside. We're not going to take a look up the inside. We're just going to stay tight, see if we can get it done under this braking zone. Come on, Lewis. It's not time to faff around, mate. You need to get through some cars and get a lead. That is what we're asking you to do, is get through some cars, get ahead of this pack, get yourself into fourth, and really help pull us together with Verstappen for that final podium place. But to do that, you need to be passing. I'm starting to think, is it a good idea to take advantage of us being sort of stuck, save some ERS for a few laps? Let's just see if we can build that back up without losing George too badly, and have a little full lap push, shall we? Let's go overtake mode for Lewis. Let's get it done, bud. We've got to get this done. I'm going to have to manage this, because if I don't manage this, we're going to be in real trouble. I have to manage it so we're always using it through the DRS zones. And if we don't do that, then all hope is lost. So I need to get sure that down the back half of the track we've got overtake mode activated. Come on, Lewis. Get it done. Get it done, my son. We are nearly there. We're nearly there. Come on, 4 laps to go. Well, 5 laps to go. And Norris has got himself onto a podium, which is just disgraceful. We should be involved in that somehow, and we're not involving ourselves in it somehow. I don't like it. Right, let's see. Use a lot of overtake on a lap here. It's not great. Not great at all. So, down the start-finish straight is the next place we're going to try and use this overtake. We're going to have to drop back to a neutral for the second half of the lap, unfortunately. But let's see. Can Lewis take George down the front straight? That's what we needed to be going. Go on, hammer down, buddy. Hammer time for Lewis. And is it there? Is it there? Not really. Not at all, in fact. That's not paying off at all. I don't like it. Okay, let's see what we've got on tyres to offer. Something's happened in Sector 1. Someone's run wide. I think that was George, actually. It must have been George. He's dropped well back. Okay, that's one slower car out of our way. And let's see if we can just push our tyres to the end here to really, really make a point. Because that would be the dream, is to make a point and get ourselves past Charles Leclerc, past Lando Norris, onto the back of Verstappen, and steal that from Max if we can. Steal the podium away and keep ourselves ahead, at least in the constructors of the cars around us. That would be good. Actually, I don't think we'll put us ahead of Red Bull regardless, but let's overtake mode deployed. Come on, buddy, another DRS zone is about to come, so we'll make it work if we can. Come on, have a look. Have a look, Lewis. Don't just half-heartedly look. Have a proper look. We know it's there. We know this overtake is there. You just have to find it. Come on, push it down. Push it down. Let's get it through. At all. At any point. Okay, start, finish straight. Go around the outside here. Good luck. Good luck around the outside. Come on. Keep your nose in, buds. Keep your nose in. We'll be fine. Oh, you've not been fine there. You've done badly. Okay, right. We're going to do this the long, hard haul way. And we're having a little look with Leclerc, having a look up Verstappen. He's passing Verstappen, maybe not quite. And Leclerc has pulled out, but Lando Norris was let go there. So this could be interesting. I don't know why Verstappen is suddenly so slow in the second phase of the race. Does this car just not like the hard tyres? Is that what I'm seeing? Is he on hard? Is he on medium? Is he on hard? Maybe his car just doesn't like the hard tyres at all. Max went out and almost took us with him. I'm not going to cry over that. Safety car is out. Okay, tactical. Let's see if Albon gets held up by Max. He doesn't. Really tough call to make here. Because I do have some soft tyres left. If it was a red flag, I'd be taking those soft tyres. I'm going to see if anyone else comes in. That's how I'm going to play it. Does anyone else come in? If someone else comes in, I'll come in. But if no one else comes in, science is kind of our litmus test here. Okay, if we came in now, where would we come out? 24 seconds, so 12 seconds, so yeah, 23. I don't think it's worth the gamble. A few more laps to go, I would have made that gamble, but it's not going to be worth the gamble right now. We're just going to try and hold on to these tyres, get them back in racing-ish condition for a one-lap shootout, possibly for a podium. We've got the softest tyres and they're in the third best condition of the top three. Albon will be right behind us on potentially better tyres, so we could be defending as well. Again, not ideal. Starting to think I should have gone for mediums for this last stint. Would have been wiser, but you live and you learn, and we just need these cars to gather up before I make any strategic call, because we could just be coming in fifth very easily. We're going to have to see if the safety car comes in this lap. I don't think it's going to. I think we're going to finish under a safety car, which is a little disappointing, because I feel like we could have had a podium from this. Quite easily we could have had a podium from this, but the safety car is staying out. I mean, Guan Yu Zhou is miles behind. He was never going to catch up or be in the way. We didn't really need to gather him up. You do wonder a little bit about race control's decision making here, but we're about to go on to the last lap and try and bring it home under a safety car. There's nothing really to play for. These tyres will go all the way to the end regardless, because we're on the last lap. And it's a bit anticlimactic, really. Carlos Sainz is getting. I don't think we've seen a safety car win so far on this game. So that's a channel first. We get a safety car finish. Let's go off board, watch Lewis do some things with his car. So yeah, it's a disappointing way for this one to end, because I felt like there was some life left in this one. I feel like we could have got past Charles Leclerc for fourth quite easily. I think this is going to put Ferrari in the lead in the constructors, and it might move. In fact, it will move Red Bull ahead of us, and possibly McLaren. That's how close this championship could be this year. I don't know why we're just I'm gonna write it off, guys. We know we're not gonna get back racing again. Safety car. Oh, safety car in this lap. Okay, that's bold, but there's no overtaking until the timing line, right? So we're relying on Lewis to do something ridiculous. It's not impossible to steal this place, but we're relying on Lewis to do something ridiculous over the line so we finish under a green flag. See how that goes. It says safety car in this lap, but that's not actually ended the safety car, has it? Is it actually going to come in? Yes, it is. Okay, good stuff. Right, one last blast to the line, boys. Let's see what we can do, shall we? Full deploy of everything. Are we going to steal a place over the line? Probably not, but it was worth a go, just in case. Didn't happen. I don't even know if there's a mechanism in the game for that to happen. Technically, once the safety car goes in, we should be free and clear, but, you know, a lot of technicalities exist in the world, and that's going to be the end of the race.
Lewis Hamilton did okay here today. This was a mixed performance from Williams today. Some excellent decisions and then some strategies that will need a bit of work.
I agree, they have some ironing out to do, but they certainly have what it takes to get there.
And after this result, the team is fourth in the constructor standings.
And for the next round, Formula One is heading down under. Exciting times ahead in Australia on the shores of the Albert Park Lake.
So what's really annoying there is that if I hadn't made that pit stop under the first safety car, we'd have got more points. Probably a top 3. Well, you know, you learn from your mistakes in F1, and that pushes Hamilton up into 7th in the championship. Bottas down to 4th. Carlos Sainz with that win gets an enormous jump up the standings as well, which is good. But constructors-wise, we've dropped back down into 4th. Ferrari have gone up into the lead from being 4th. Red Bull and McLaren stay where they are, but they're now level on points. This could be a very, very close fight this season, and plenty to play for. Let's see if we get anything experience-wise to give our drivers some hope. We don't, and that's fine. So we'll just see how that goes. We've made some money, which is nice for us, and yeah, we've done the best we can. We've done the best we can with this race for today. I feel like we need this rear wing that's coming in to come in fast on the car and to start doing more development. Let's just have a little check around just to make sure there's nothing I need to do for the drivers in terms of development points. We did get one from Nick, for David Schumacher, sorry. Let's give that to him for... In fact, let's go for smoothness. Is that a good idea? I'm just trying to think what's going to be most useful for him as our sort of reserve driver. I'm going to go with braking so he doesn't crash the car and cost me money. We've got something from Michael Huber. That's nice. I'll give you a rear wing because the rear wing makes the car faster. Anyone else going to take any points? Not today. Not today, Chief. Okay, so I think it's a good place to wrap the episode up. We are going to Albert Park next time out. Hopefully we'll have a slightly better race than we did today. And in the meantime, guys, well, there's nothing in this inbox. It's all worth reading. Until next time, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, ring the bell. I have been chasing Amy, and I thank you very much for being here. Until next time, stay safe and have a good one.